This is the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
About to bring gold back to Lawrence County.
Your home for the County of Champions.
And how sweet it is! A state gold medal for the Union Scotties!
And the Neshannock Lancers are your 2A softball champions. The trophy lifted high.
The 10th seed Union Scotties are WPIAL champions.
Not a Cinderella story, a championship story here.
And your 2023 WPIAL 2A Girls Champions, the Shenango Wildcats.
The pitch from Bruce, here it comes. Swing and a miss! Union wins it! The Union Scotties have rallied to win the WPIAL Championship.
The top local athletes and the top sports moments all featured here, live or archived at lcsportsnet.com.
Worker down inside and alley-oop to Young. Good.
She'll strike it and score!
Featuring over 100 broadcasts of county events in over a dozen sports. Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet.
Coming to you live from George Washington Intermediate School, the brand new turf here at Newcastle, as we have a big Section 3 of Class 5A matchup. The Newcastle Lady Canes taking on the Moon Tigers, both teams coming in with 2-6 records in section play. Moon 2-10 overall, Newcastle 3-8 overall. Long story short, playoff scenario here, Eric. Either of these two teams win their final two games, they should be. It's not a total guarantee, but the way the section looks, should be able to make it into the playoffs. Got to win today first to really have any good logistical chance come Wednesday and Thursday.
Really becomes a playoff game today, tomorrow for both teams. Kind of have that mentality going into the final couple games of the season. A wild game the first time these two teams met back on April 15th. Newcastle won 11-7. A couple of lineup changes for Moon in this game compared to the last one, positionally anyway. And we'll see if either one of these starting pitchers today can get a little bit of momentum early on and carry their team off the circle.
First pitch delivery brought to you by Penn Ohio Bottled Water. It is downstairs for ball one. Same story in the circle, though, for Newcastle. It will be Olivia Hood as the starting pitcher. Count even at 1-1. Here to start the game against leadoff batter Kendall Chambers. There will be, as you mentioned, position change, a different starting pitcher in the circle for Moon today, as this one's roped right back up the middle and diving attempt but unable to get to it. This is going to be extra bases out in center field, rounding first, heading to second, and Chambers is going to hold up there as Aaron McCarter gave it a try on that Newcastle logo in center but couldn't quite get to it.
3 hits the last time these two teams met. Important to get the leadoff hitter in any situation, in any inning. Don't allow your team to get that initial runner on. Top of this Moon order, James, this isn't a very up and down, top to bottom strong lineup, but the first 4 hitters on this Moon lineup are very, very good, and that's where the majority of their offenses come from.
How about that bunt? Just died right in front of the plate. No one really sure where to go with it, and that's going to be a sacrifice turned into a infield single for Megan Dianello. So runners on the corners and nobody out to start the game from Moon, just what the doctor ordered.
And this is where Moon's lineup gets pretty good because Sydney Ray's been the best hitter for him. Home run last time these two played, best hitter in the lineup, power hitter. Bunch of extra base hits this season as Danello will go down to second base. So runners on third and second now for Ray. And she's provided a lot of the offense for this team. Had 3 RBI in that game on April 15th.
She gets under this one towards first base and not quite able to get to it in time was Angelina J. Count even at 1-1. Let's take a look at this full batting order here for the Moon Tigers. As you mentioned, the 2 Chambers sandwiching around Danello and Ray have been really the strong part of it. Abby Warren-Garris batting 5th, the first baseman today, as you mentioned, the starting pitcher the first time these two teams did battle. This one's going to fall in front of the left fielder for a base hit. Only going to go 60 feet to third base, though, was Danello. The throw coming in, never stopping the whole way, was Sydney Ray. So she will advance on the throw. 1-0 Moon here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, an RBI already. That's why it's crucial to watch this lineup. I mean, again, they're going to look for run support. Warner Harris, who you mentioned the last time started, up and down year in the circle, really hasn't shown the ability to get out of jams, giving up a lot of hits this season, a lot of earned runs. So maybe the pitching change today is what gives Moon this extra spark down the stretch. But right there, Ray, the power hitter, the best hitter in this lineup, showing up early.
This one's fouled to the screen. Quickly up 0-2. Cameron Chambers now at the plate. Here in the top of the first inning on the brand new turf here at Newcastle. We'll take out the Canes defensive alignment. They're still looking for their first out of the opening inning. Rise ball misses upstairs. Count 1-2. Here is your Medora Bonner Law defensive alignment for the Canes. Now the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Good pitch to get the strikeout on the outside corner and retire a very dangerous hitter in Cameron Chambers for the first out of the inning.
Next up, Abby Hornagiris.
Double play still in effect here, but Newcastle's defense, James, going to have to react and get that ball home. If anything is put in play, that's got to be the first priority. You can't, softball is such an interesting sport because in a way, it sometimes can be so predictable. If you have an ace pitcher, you're going to dominate games. I mean, it is that simple. 1-0 scores can really feel like 4 or 5-0 deficits that you have to come back from. You can't allow anything else really, early. Now, again, Moon has been looking for some solid pitching in that circle all season long. We'll see if that change today helps them, but get this second run here if you can't get a strikeout. Get this second run if you're Moon and get to the plate defensively if you're Newcastle.
11-7 was the score the first time these two teams played, so no shock that we're going to have a multitude of runs, we think, on the board here today. Chasing that one upstairs was Warren Gurris, and that's going to be strikeout number 2 back-to-back. Good job to respond there by Hood after getting those first 3 hits against her, getting back-to-back Ks.
Yeah, it really is, and that's what you want to see if you're Newcastle is come back after a couple early hits, early run. Interesting to watch from this vantage point. We're right on the dish on the first base side too. So we have a really good vantage point of home plate, of the calls, of how this works. But watching those rise balls when they come in like that from this vantage point, that's a unique perspective to see how hard and how good these pitchers can be if they get that thing to continually heat up and rise on the way in.
Yeah, last 2 batters especially have been underneath on that rise ball. 0-2. Let's see if they go to it again with Macy Trost at the plate, and she's a little out in front, and it's a good afternoon, good evening, and good night strikeout. So 3 straight Ks, but damage done with a run on the board in the first inning. 2 runners left on the bags. Going to the bottom of the first, Moon 1, Newcastle coming up to bat. So let's flip the script and take a look at the Newcastle Red Hurricanes under Coach Lori Lydak. And also a bit of a change from the last couple of games that they've, or from a majority of the season, the last couple of games, I should say, they've moved this batting order around a little bit. It was Mangieri, Hood, and now they've moved Olivia Hood, the pitcher, to the leadoff spot. So an interesting little wrinkle here to the offense for Newcastle, putting your pitcher and what was your 3-hitter in that leadoff spot, and no surprise when she's batting nearly 500 on the year.
Yeah, 471 and 7 doubles and 3 triples. 16 RBI, probably has responded a lot more comfortably. I have a feeling, at this level, I think if you're the pitcher, I think you want to be up there and you want to, face the competition, what you're opposing in that circle, but 2, I think especially if you give up a run early, you want to get that thing back. You want to really be the one that sets the tempo for your offense. You're the one that dictates really your defense, the way you pitch and how effective you are pitching. So you want to be the first one that gets out there and steps up and starts your offense off on the right foot. It's worked out so far. 4 RBI the first meeting too. So much like Ray did some damage for Moon in the last game, Hood's done the damage or did the damage for Newcastle, and they needed every one of those 4 RBIs. They won the game by 4.
Shout out to our first pitch delivery brought to you by Penn Ohio Bottled Water. Give Penn Ohio Bottled Water a call for delivery of your 3 or 5 gallon water cooler systems. Stay refreshed and enjoy hot or cold water at the click of a button. Enjoy a cup of coffee with their bottom-loading water cooler options as well. 83 and sunny. About darn time here, Eric.
Yeah, it really is. Good weekend. Start the week off right with some good weather. Have some good weather tomorrow, too. And it's going to be a fast track here today as it's dry, and this entire turf field, you expect the ball to travel if it's on the ground pretty hard.
Love what they've been able to do to get this all-turf field here at George Washington. A couple new all-turf fields in the Lawrence County area. Mohawk also with a brand new turf-only field, including the outfield as well. It just makes it so much easier to get some of these games in. 1-0 pitch, misses down and away. This is Kylie Zalen as the starting pitcher here today. And, I mean, case in point, when they christened this field, had the ribbon-cutting ceremony, it was about 32 degrees and raining, a little bit of sleet even. Still were able to make it happen and have the game be able to be played. 3-0 the count. Here to the leadoff batter, Olivia Hood, mentioned 471 and those 16 RBI to lead the team. Again, was the 3-hitter throughout the majority of the first half of the season at least, and now moving into the leadoff spot. And she's full swinging on a 3-0 pitch. It's off the glove of the second baseman, Kendall Chambers. What a hefty swing that was, and not afraid to swing away on that 3-0 count there, Eric.
No, big cut and line right up the middle. That was a hard hit ball to center, just over that second base bag. Like the aggressiveness early on, why not?
That'll bring up Gabby Mangieri, the freshman catcher. Look at this, 4 freshmen in this starting lineup for the Canes as well. Very young team. First pitch to her misses outside for ball 1.
And you mentioned the all-turf field. I mean, teams in Pennsylvania and really in the Northeast are going to have to look at that more and more. And, yeah, it costs a lot. These organizations that do turf generally will give you some rates on if you do multiple fields or in a district, multiple schools type thing. But if you want to get these things in, I mean, the weather is so unpredictable. I mean, it could snow tomorrow. We don't know. I mean, especially out in western Pennsylvania, you got to go and look at these turf fields if you want to play a full season.
2-0 to count now to Gabby, hitting just under 400 on the year. Runner goes, throw down to second base, and head first slide in there with the swiped bag. There is Olivia Hood. That is her 11th stolen base of the year. 46 now for the team on the season there, Eric.
Aggressive, try to generate some runs, get the one back. Bloop shot and any of the gaps might do it.
Runner going to go down to third base, head first slide, and she is out. And they can't believe it.
Going to get a bit of a contest here, it looks like.
Yeah.
Initially, that's tough though, because again, you know, you're dealing in a regular season game that is so crucial with the 2-man crew. Playoffs will roll around. Generally, you'll have full staffs, but these umpires have the toughest job, regardless, in the building or at the field. They're going to discuss this, but it's just you have to be on it. You have to be assured of your call. And
Oh, and that was tough too, because where he had to be to try to get that, and it looked like tough time even to hold on to the ball. Yeah, running across, and did the hand get in there before a tag was even applied? And that's, I think, what the question they're going to have to ask. And they're going to at least Coach Lidak getting a discussion.
Now, I thought from our vantage point that Hood was safe. I thought the play at second was a little bit closer on the previous swipe.
Yeah. I thought the hand got in there both times, so that's the unfortunate part if you're a Newcastle fan. Nonetheless, though, it is 1 down. 3-1 is the count. And with that one, trying to get people moving, and that's the rough part of it, too, is that now you have, instead of first and second, nobody out, just a runner on first with no outs.
Next up, Kiera Mangieri.
So Kiera Mangieri now to the plate. She's only a junior, Eric, but she has already committed to the University of Pittsburgh.
Slugging .771 this season, too, and 10 RBI. So, again, prime spot in the lineup. Lineup tails off a little bit in terms of production down towards the bottom for Newcastle, so much like Moon, it's at the very top of the order. This is where they're going to have to do their damage in this game.
First pitch swinging is Kiera, and it's going to be lifted fouled on the third base line, and it will drift out of play for strike one. Yeah, Hood, 2 Mangiaris and Rose in that top 4. 16, 5, 10, and 8 RBIs between them. And throwing Jenna Laniero with 7 in the 5 spot. Beyond that, just 10 on the season for the rest of the squad. This one catches the outside corner for strike 2, so 0-2 now the count. Here in the bottom of the first inning, 1-0 your score.
Be nice if you're out in left field today. Got that luxury suite out there, a little patio for you. Fun vantage point to watch a game. We got a fan on the rail on the outfield as well. Beautiful day to watch some high school sports.
Yeah, it is, and you still have the playground out beyond the right field fence line, so kids able to come and enjoy an afternoon. We're glad you can be enjoying it here with us, and a big battle it is here in Class 5A Section 3. As this one's drilled towards center field, going back on it, forget about it. That's her 3rd of the year, and just like that, Newcastle takes the lead.
Home run for Kiera Mangieri.
Now we said it, top of the lineup, the top first 4 hitters are doing all the damage offensively in both these lineups, and we've already seen the fireworks in this one here this afternoon. That was a no doubt about shot out to center. I mean, that ball, you could tell as soon as it left the bat was going to be out of here. That not wind aided or anything. That was all power on that swing.
And how about this? I think we're going to get a pitching change right off the get-go. So we are going to have a red zone trip to the mound, a red zone pitching change. So we're going to step aside real quick, and we'll get the changes for you when we return. It's the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
When the high school season heats up, make sure you have the best gear to support your school. Head to the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in Neshannock for all your county sporting apparel needs. From sporting goods to custom apparel to embroidery and more, the Red Zone has it all. Quality gear for all 8 schools in the County of Champions. Stop by and enter the Red Zone or visit them online at theredzonesports.com. Score big at the Red Zone.
Thank you for calling Axe. Where can we take you today?
To work, to the store, to Grandma's house. Axe can get you there, but it's much more than a ride. It's a joyride.
I'm helping people. I'm getting them out of their house. I'm taking them to their doctors, to the grocery store.
They say I'm entertaining. Okay, we laugh, we joke, we sing, we tell stories.
They're like family to us.
Even if it's the same day, to schedule your joyride, call Axe today.
When it comes to shopping for insurance, there are thousands of options out there. MVP Insurance proactively shops and compares your policies to find the best coverage and rate. Josh Mathur and David Verratti want to provide you with a level of personalized service that you know that you are the MVP of their agency. They simplify insurance so you can live stress-free. Visit one of their locations in Zingleopole or in New Springfield, Ohio. Call MVP for the win. Proud sponsor of the MVP of the game on the Lawrence County SportsNet.
First pitch swinging with the new pitcher is Azalea Rose, and she grounds to a 1-3 putout for the second out of the inning. Changes Abby Warren Garris, who started the first game. She's the one who is now in the pitcher's circle. Looks like Mary Trost has gone to first base. Zaylen out to left, and Schumann moves to left, and taking her spot in left is Zaylen in right.
And Warner Gurris, we said it, has struggled at times with giving up the hits and a lot of earned runs this season. And she's been a workhorse for this Moon team, but I'm not surprised early. I mean, you have to win this game. Changes, I would expect, are going to be pretty quick if needed.
This one misses down and in, 2-1 to count. Maybe just an idea of trying to throw something a little bit different. I mean, she did give up 13 hits, did Warren Garris, the first time these two teams played. So now 2-1 to count. Swung on and missed. Jenna Nero, the sophomore. at the plate. She was 0 for 4 in the first game against Warren Garris, so she did drive in a run in that contest. Now facing a 2-2 count. Popped up and out of play. Thank you for the extra netting. That was going right at my car. Two-two pitch, ground ball towards third base, taken on a couple of hops there by Baku at third, on to first to end the inning and end the threat, but a good response. Canes put up 2 runs on a couple of hits. On that home run from Kiera Mangieri, Newcastle leads Moon 2-1. Back in a moment, pseudo playoff game. You're checking it out right here on Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAT.
Firefly Solar is a proud sponsor of LC SportsNet. From our regional business partnership to our community benefits agreement with local schools, Firefly Solar is dedicated to being an outstanding neighbor and beacon of economic support for the Lawrence County community. Let's create a stronger energy infrastructure while preserving the agricultural beauty of Lawrence County. Visit fireflysolarpa.com for more info about the Firefly Solar project. Firefly Solar, creating a brighter future in Lawrence County.
Does your blueprint not match the vision of your building project? Not with Creative Edge Architecture. From concept to creation, Jeff Measle will help tackle the complex problems, creating design solutions and construction experience. Creative Edge gives you the edge design and construction meet.
Tigers, Kylie Zalen.
Well, strong start for the Canes. A 2-1 lead here as we head to the bottom of the second inning. First pitch to Kylie Zalen. It's Zalen, Schumann, and Baku, the 7-8-9 hitters, due up here for the Tigers here in the top of the second inning. Count now even at 1-1 as that catches the inside corner. And how big is it answer when you give up 3 straight hits to start the game, 3 straight strikeouts, and then 2 runs right back, Eric?
No, you can't ask for anything more. And that rise ball a little too high that time, but you can't ask for anything more. I mean, that's what you want to see out of your team. Either way, I mean, if somebody gives up a run, you want to come right back and to show off, flex some muscle, and show some power like that, and do it with the home run. And it looks like Hood's also settled in too. I mean, she was fantastic after those initial hits in the top of the first, and she's really settled in here in the last couple of batters she's faced.
Has a 2-2 count against Zalen, starting as the pitcher, now moving out to left field. She did not play the first time these two teams faced off against each other either, so maybe also a little bit of that, try to change something up here in game 2 of the series.
Looking for anything that really can jolt your offense, but right now it is Hood who is, I mean, she's on fire. That's 4 straight strikeouts.
Next up, Courtney Schumann.
About finding your groove. It's exactly what you're looking for right now. 4 straight strikeouts. Took a little off of that one, too, and got Zalen out in front. Now Courtney Schumann starting in right now, playing left. She grounds this one towards the right side of the infield. Easy flip for the second out of the inning. 2 up, 2 down, 5 straight retired.
Yeah, I think both sides really, and of the two, I would say that Hood has probably been the more consistent pitcher, at least of overpowering batters and getting her team out of jams. I know that the record might not indicate that, but Warren Garris has just struggled at times, and the hits have come in bunches. And Hood, in a battle of 2 teams where offense has been a premium and they've given up a lot of runs, to show this kind of strength already in this game is a great sign if you're Newcastle.
Count now even at 1-1. Didn't get a chance to mention it either. The catcher, Gabby Mangieri, she started the year in center field. She and Erin McCarter basically have flip-flopped in the last couple of games. Swing and a miss there. Count now 1-2. Baku is strikeout victim all 3 times she went to the plate in the first matchup.
A little late on the swing that time, too. You could just see her step right into it and be just a touch late.
Called strike 3 on the outside corner. 6 straight outs and 5th strikeout in amongst them. Newcastle leading 2-1. To the bottom of the second we go. Back in a moment at lcsportsnet.com.
Castle Asphalt and Construction is driven to provide quality, cost-efficient pavement-related services to Western Pennsylvania. Every paving or construction service at Castle Asphalt begins with a thorough site inspection of the area to allow their team of professionals to become familiar with the unique conditions of your home or business. Once the site inspection is complete, Castle Asphalt provides you with a detailed plan of the design, cost, materials, and time of completion, so you know exactly what to expect during your construction. Visit castleasphalt.com to request a quote for your next project and make your dream design come to fruition.
For more than 120 years, people have been relying upon Martindale Hubbell's AV preeminent rating to select their attorneys. If you're involved in a workers' compensation situation, you should do the same. LGKG has been AV rated for over 40 years.
To the bottom of the second inning we go here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. Canes gave up 3 straight hits to Moon to start the game, but good response, couple of hits, a home run, and now a chance to try to build upon a 2-1 lead with 6, 7, 8 hitters, Jay, Young, and McCarter here due up.
Warner Garrison, that first meeting, talk about a wild line, a roller coaster game. 7 innings, 13 hits, 11 earned runs, and 8 strikeouts. Didn't walk anybody. I mean, anytime you're not going to walk anybody and you strike out 8, you're going to take your chances that it's been a pretty good game.
Chopper to third base. Good job to charge by Baku to get the first out of the inning on the 5-3. Back-to-back putouts made there by Baku at third. 1 away here in the bottom of the second. At that moment, didn't get a chance to really talk about our works in progress keys to the game. Talk about Newcastle with speed killing, 46 strikeout or stolen base, on the year. The other thing, they need to make sure they don't have any extended innings, and I think both of these teams as well, trying to get that 1 through 9 mentality. As you said, the top of the order has been strong for both these teams all year, Eric. It's which team can get the damage done at the bottom of the order that might be paramount.
I think that's going to be a big key in this game, and what can produce. Neither side really produced much. A couple hits for Newcastle in the first meeting on the bottom of the order, but neither team has really had that productivity in the bottom half the entire season, and they're sort of searching for that and trying to figure out the right way to do things. A lot of teams, again, we talked about this earlier in the season about going double leadoff sometimes and positioning your lineup where you have really your 9 hitters a leadoff hitter, your 1 hitter comes up, and then that sets the table for everything for your 3-4-5, 2-3-4-5. Not the case with these groups. I mean, this is very top-heavy lineups. No extended innings is a good way to put it, and let's see some aggressiveness from some of these pitchers. Don't be afraid to go after some of these batters. I know Warner Garris has struggled, but don't be afraid to go after a couple of hitters here and there.
2-2 now the count, and 9 errors actually for Newcastle in the first game against Moon. Here's another chopper in front of the plate, and no one's going to get to it in time. It's going to be an infield single. Find a way on one way or the other. Third hit of the game for the Canes.
That's a brilliant job to get down that line fast. Defense really doesn't have a lot of time to react. You're trying to judge how that ball's going to bounce. If you can make a play on it, get your break timed right to come in to make a play. 3 players really trying to figure out who's going to make a stab at it, and by that point, Young all the way down the line. Good job of base running.
So the only senior on this Newcastle roster, Raquel Young, gets on base. Now Aaron McCarter steps to the plate.
This is what we're talking about, too. I mean, Young only hitting 185, McCarter 138, Calderero 250, and then Lexi Moyer, who's the flex, 071. So to get somebody from that group on base and get an opportunity here to extend the lead, that is big time if you're Newcastle.
Ground ball up the middle off of the glove of the pitcher, and then miscommunication at second base. It looked like she could have just stepped on the bag herself, but then decided last minute did Sydney Ray to try to catch it, or try to flip it at the last second, I should say. So that's going to go down as what? I don't want to rule that a fielder's choice and an error? That's...
Can't assume double play, so fielder's choice, it's got to be an error. I mean, that's just you have to step on that bag. You've got the momentum, you made the play. Played the ricochet off the glove of Warner Garris pretty well, but just an ill-timed mistake there that time, and recognize that and put that foot on that bag, plant it right there. You're right next to that.
Now 9 hitter in Calderero coming to the plate. She bunts it, and it's going to bunt back to the catcher, foul. Evens the count at 1-1. Calderero only 11 official at-bats on the year, but trying to move him over. Again, you have your former 3-hitter, now your leadoff batter in the on-deck circle. Squaring a bunt, and it's going to be back to the pitcher. Only play will be to first base. It's going to be a 1-4 sacrifice. Good job to move the runners over. 2 down now for Olivia Hood.
Little small ball, like it. Get your runners across. Let's get back to the top of your order, and this is where the damage is going to be done. Perfect opportunity here for Newcastle. Perfect opportunity for Hood to help out her cause, too.
I'll see Warren Garris what she chooses to do. Again, Hood 2 doubles and a triple when these teams played the first time. First pitch misses outside, 4-1.
And I think that's the right thing to do, is to try to get her to chase something away and outside to start. Try to get the mistake by the batter. Maybe it comes off the end of the bat and you get an easy out.
That one catches the outside corner, evens the count at 1-1. I mean, she drilled one on a 3-0 pitch in the first at bat.
That's very true, but I like the mix here by Warner Garris, though. Again, try to go outside, make them chase, and then come right back at him and try to paint that outside corner.
1-1 misses down to the way. 2-1 now the count.
It's a good pitch, though. These are hittable pitches if you're a good, solid contact hitter, but Hood being smart and not chasing anything so far.
Out in front of this one, down the left field line, hooking towards the line, and it's going to land just a foot foul. Wasn't foul by much, but just, we got the perfect angle right on the line, Eric. You just see it just hooking out of play.
A little bit of a draw there, huh?
Oh, I mean, you could be on the golf course right now.
That was a nice piece of hitting. Had that landed just inside that line, that was big-time trouble if you're Moon. You see Hood, I think, waiting for those things outside. And
this one chopped towards short. Good job to come and get the high hop by the shortstop, Sydney Ray. Fires to first base to retire the side. Good job to attack the softball there, Eric, and get the play.
Yeah, it really was. Aggressive defense that time, recognizing the last time. Yeah, should have stepped on the bag, got the out. This time we're going to make sure we get a clean thrower to first base and get out of there without any damage.
2-1, we'll head to the third inning. Back in a moment on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
Contractors, the Department of Healthy Homes needs you. From small to large residential projects, you can help families live safer and healthier with the quality work you do. It's rewarding in more ways than one. Call LCAP's Department of Healthy Homes today.
Right now, someone very special needs your help. This is Jack Lynn, CEO of City Rescue Mission. No one is beyond God's love and care. One person's life can affect another. Though you may never meet this person, you can make a difference in his or her life. Hurting men and women in our community desperately need food, shelter, and physical and spiritual care. Some are struggling with abuse and addiction. They feel alone, unloved, and forgotten. Individual, caring people provide their hope. You can help change the lives of men, women, and children. Visit cityrescuemission.org and help us today.
Each team with 3 hits through the first 2 innings, but Newcastle off of a Kiera Mangieri 2-run home run. They lead 2-1 as we begin our third inning, our mainly chiropractic inning. I'm James Dotson, glad to be here with Eric Thomas, and if he's ready for it, Eric, to take us through our middle 3.
Let's take it away here as we got Chambers, who doubled in the first time at the plate today. And again, we mentioned 3 hits in the last meeting between these two, and this is where Hood is going to have to be careful against this Moon lineup the second time through. 1 through 5, 1 through 4, really. And rise ball high that time.
Yeah, Chambers, Dianello, and Ray all with base hits in that first inning. It was 2 on, nobody out, a run already in. Since then, 6 straight retired.
That one's punched in the air and will fall in the gap in right center for a base hit.
So Kendall Chambers picking up right where she left off from the first game there, Eric, with 2 hits to start this one. Smooth swing, keeping the weight back and driving that off-speed pitch into the right center gap.
Going to break a string of 6 straight retired and 5 strikeouts out of those 6 for Hood. See Hood check the scouting report, popped up right at the dish, and an excellent play made for the out. How about that?
Yeah, good job by the catcher. Gabby Mangieri got up out of the crouch on the bunt,
Next up, Sydney.
Good job
Ray.
tracking it the entire way. There's going to be an early Bailey Chiropractic Play of the Game nominee.
Good reaction that time. Runner stays at first, and Chambers rise ball high for ball one. Ray singled and had the RBI for Moon back in the first. Far and away the best hitter power-wise in this lineup for Moon. Hood goes right after her for strike one. So 1-1.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier 3 RBIs and a homer the first time against the Canes.
Outside that time for ball two, 2-1 to Ray.
Yeah, first game, Hood just gave up 6 hits, 7 runs allowed in the game, and only 3 were earned. Mentioned 9 errors in that game, but somehow Newcastle was able to weather the storm.
Good pitch, and that hits off the glove of Hood onto first for the out, but down to second is going to be Chambers. So Ray is retired, and Chambers will advance with 1 gone.
Yeah,
Two
great.
gone,
Yeah, 2 gone, you're right, yes. And again, great reaction by the pitcher. We've seen both pitchers getting their hands or getting their glove on a ball.
That one is blooped in the air again to that gap, and that's going to hit and bounce over the wall for a ground rule double. And around to score is going to be Chambers to tie the game at 2. Into second is going to be Cameron Chambers with her first hit of the afternoon.
So tying it up at 2, another Toshiba RBI. Visit www.business.toshiba.com. Click Find a Dealer near you or give Dale a call at 412-290-2156 for all your printer, output device, and digital workflow needs.
Warner Garris now at the plate, struck out the first time. 2 gone. We're tied at 2 here in the top of the third.
Good inside-out swing there, though, on Cameron's ground rule double.
Showing some power. You may hear some wind here today. As it is breezy, but that is really not of any effect on where the ball is going to travel. Those 2 deep shots to the outfield are both power by the 2 hitters on each side. Tipped foul back behind the dish right in front of us.
I do like these batters, too, first pitch swinging. Especially at Cameron on her last one. Sometimes that's not sometimes. Usually that is the best pitch you're going to see.
Warner Garris set and delivers, and a swing and a miss. Rather Hood, and that's Warner Garris swinging and missing. That's 2-2 now the count. Runner on second. Go ahead run on second. Rise ball is going to miss high for ball 3. Full count now to Warner Garris. Good pitch, and that one's fouled back behind home plate.
So Kendall Chambers led off with a double in the first inning, led off with a single here. She scored both times, scoring both runs here for Moon today.
Hood fires. That one's hit foul behind the dish again. And what a play behind the dish by Mangieri once again. 2 of them in the inning. And Newcastle gets out of it without any further damage. But a run scores to tie the game on the ground rule double by Chambers. And we are tied at 2 here as we go to the bottom of the third from George Washington Intermediate.
And that means it's time for our Melee Minute. It means it's time to put me on the clock. I was not ready for that one there, Eric, but we're going to go with it. The Melee Minute as we take a look at the softball happenings. How about this? We could potentially have all 8 teams out of Lawrence County make it into the softball playoffs. Let's start in Class 1A. Union has already clinched 1A. They're 14-1. Every section game has been a mercy rule this year. Mia Prue, 6 no-hitters. She and Fisher lead the county in home runs and RBI on the year. In 2A, Laurel, Neshannock, and Shenango have all clinched. Neshannock 13-0. Addie Fry, Abigail Measle, they've allowed just 3 earned runs combined all year. And Anderson and Jaden Nogue top in stolen bases on the year. Laurel 11-4. That's actually the worst record they've had in the last 10 years, believe it or not, in a season. Addie leads the county in doubles. Boyd and Brewitt each had home runs in their weekend win over Mercer. Shenango at 7-6. Kennedy Lynn and Zoe Offey leading the way in the offensive category. Offey leads the county in triples. Class 3A, Mohawk, Elwood City. They've both clinched. Mohawk at 10-2. Their only losses are to Laurel and South Fayette. Moskell, one of the top averages in the county. 8 different starters hitting over 400 on the year. Elwood City, their only 2 losses are to Mohawk, but they both came in mercy rule fashion. Amber McQuiston, part of a very powerful lineup. Elwood City averaging over 10 runs per game in the course of the year. Up in District 10 2A, there's no official clinchings. There's only 9 teams in Class 2A in District 10. 8 is the maximum that they can make. We don't know how many that will be taken until the brackets actually come out. Avery Harlan and Skylar Leichman have 2 of the top 5 batting averages in the county. And as we're here in Class 5A, Newcastle, oh boy, the scenarios. We'll dig through those here through the rest of the bottom of the 5th inning. Or bottom of the 3rd inning, excuse me, here with a 2-2 score line. There's your Maley Minute, brought to you by Maley Chiropractic.
So Warner Garris fires in Gabby Mangieri, who walked and grounded out. That one is ripped into the gap between 3rd and short, base hit into left. And Mangieri is aboard for the 2nd time this afternoon, and that'll bring up Kiara Mangieri. 2-run homer back in the 1st inning.
Now we'll see how aggressive they choose to be on the base paths. Again, you have a pit commit at the plate. You've got a stolen base, but also a caught stealing from Hood in the 1st inning. Gabby Mangieri also been known as Swipe Bad. She's got 8 stolen bases on the year herself.
Outside for ball 1. Good healthy lead by Gabby over at first, but no real threat to run on that first pitch. Interesting, with softball and how things have progressed with that is in there for ball 2, but how the communication and the use of the wristbands, those quarterback wristbands that we see so often in football. You see less of it in high school football and more of it in softball. That one's punched right up the first base line, and that'll be an out for Kiara Mangieri as Gabby Mangieri gets back to the bag at first, and that will bring up Rose for the 2nd time this afternoon.
Yeah, that one kind of off the end of the bat there for Kiara Mangieri. Yeah, even it's bleeding in the baseball pretty darn quickly here too, Eric, with the wrist coach, as our colleague Lee Moan likes to call it. Hearing all these number call-outs.
Sharply hit, actually runs and hits into Gabby Mangieri.
Unfortunate there, because that was a base hit all day long. That was probably going 1st to 3rd there, but the freshman Gabby just couldn't get out of the way.
So Rose is going to be aboard, and retired is Mangieri. So the go-ahead run stays on first, but an opportunity there for Newcastle, and that's going to go for naught.
So I'll see if Jenna Nero can do something with it.
Grounded out to 3rd last time up.
Real quick, the scenarios. West Allegheny and South Fayette at the top of this section, 7-1 and 6-2 respectively. They have both clinched. Mars at 4-4, Western Beaver at 3-5. Either one of those, if they get 1 win, they're in. That one's now even at 1-1. And the fun part is figuring out what happens here with Newcastle and Moon, because basically either team wins both of their final 2 games this week, barring like a 1 out of 50 chance, they should be in. Throw behind here, Eric. Whew. Tight play at first, but it looks like she's back in there.
Yeah, Rose just getting that hand in there. 2-2 the count to Nero. Warner Garris looks in for the sign from her dugout. Fires chopper up the middle. Well played at short onto first, and the inning is over. So an opportunity for Newcastle there. However, Mangieri got hit by that line drive by Rose, and they are unable to get anything across, as we're still tied at 2 after 3.
For 20 years, Maley Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Maley Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $30 visit to the Maley Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapy is necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Maley Chiropractic keep you in the game.
Back here at George Washington Intermediate. Eric Thomas, James Dotson with you. 2-2 game here. Pretty good game brewing here in the top of the fourth. As Moon is going to have Trost, Zalen, and Schumann at the plate.
Leading off for the Tigers, Macy
Olivia
Trost.
Hood back to work in the circle for Newcastle. Good pitch for strike one to Trost, who struck out in her first appearance this afternoon. Must-win game for either side, as we've talked about. Can't win two in a row if you don't win the first one. That one's high, but in there for strike two.
Yeah, Trost tried to bunt for a hit there, and it was out of the zone, didn't pull back. Fast-moving game, though. Here's both these pitchers wheeling and dealing.
Outside and high that time for ball one. Yeah, that's the beauty about softball. You can sit down and call a game or cover a game. You're done in an hour.
Takes longer to set up half the time.
And that is in there, caught looking for strike three for Trost, and she is retired, one away. Couldn't believe the call.
Yeah, 6 strikeouts now for
Next up, Kylie Zalen.
Olivia Hood. Came in with 51 strikeouts and 15 walks on the year. Pretty good ratio, about 4-1. The second time Trost has been retired by the K. That first one to Kylie Zalen catches the outside corner as well, so 0-1 here to count. I love the new scoreboard. It's taken me about 4 innings to figure out exactly where everything is, the balls, strikes, so on and so forth up there.
Hood thought she had that one across and did, so 1-1. Zalen struck out first appearance today. Ooh, inside.
Yeah, we can count on our strike zone cam. Beautiful paint in the black on the inside corner.
Saw Zalen jump away from that. That one low and in the dirt, and nice job blocking that one by Mangieri.
So here's the deal. Newcastle and Moon, they win both, they're in. Newcastle, though, if they were to lose today and Western Beaver loses today, then that game on Wednesday between the Golden Beavers and Newcastle becomes a play-in game, because either they will tie and both would get in, or Western Beaver would win outright, would have tiebreakers, would have everything to go along with it. Moon, basically a similar scenario as well.
High, but in there for strike three called.
Back-to-back backwards Ks. Yeah, from Moon, they'd have to win both against Newcastle and Mars, or if they do win today, they could lose the next game if Newcastle takes care of business on Wednesday.
Tip foul, strike one to Schumann, who grounded out.
That's a crazy one. If Moon were to win today, Western Beaver loses today, and the Canes beat Western Beaver on Wednesday, Moon loses on Thursday, Western Beaver would actually be the team out based on the tiebreaking scenarios, and the other two would both be in. The way the tiebreakers would work at that point, a 3-way tie, you would go head-to-head. Western Beaver would actually have the worst head-to-head record. They would be eliminated from contention, and because the Canes and the Tigers would have split, they'd both end up getting that 4th and then the extra 5th spot. But that's for the Don Rebel Abacus wielding scenarios to go and figure out. So, Don, I hope you're listening, because I just saved you a little bit of trouble for your work going on these next couple of days.
Schumann is down on strikes, so we're through the top half of the fourth. Still tied at 2. Good one here between Newcastle and Moon, as it'll be the Hurricanes coming back to bat, trying to break this 2-all tie.
For more than 120 years, people have relied on Martindale-Hubbell's preeminent rating to select their attorneys. If you've been involved in an automobile accident, you should do the same. At LGKG, we have been preeminently rated for over 40 years.
GEM building contractors and developers have a proven record of performance on any size project. They bring value, local craftsmanship, expert management to meet any challenge. From design construction, from inspection to budget estimation, GEM Builder has been building our community for 70 years.
Back here as we go to the bottom of the fourth. tied at 2, and due up for Newcastle to be Jay, Young, and McCarter. Young has reached today, but Jay 0 for 1 so far. Grounded out the third.
Coming up after the game, we will announce our MVP Insurance MVP of the game. Call MVP for the win. Home, auto, term life, all sorts of insurance. MVP for the win.
Mortagaris back out to work for Moon once again as Jay looks at ball 1.
Yeah, there's your Bador Bonner Law defensive alignment. Never got a chance to look at it after the switch back to the typical starter.
That one chopped towards second, and a good play made there by Chambers as there is one gone.
Well, so far it's about come to fruition with what we talked about with those works in progress keys to the game. Which team can get the production from the bottom half of the order is probably going to be the team that comes out on top in this one, because you look at Newcastle, their top 4 hitters, I have them with 4 of their 5 hits in that top 4, and all 5 hits for Moon coming in that top 4.
Here is Young, who reached earlier this afternoon with a single. Hitting 185 coming into play today, no extra base hits and 11 strikeouts, but got on base earlier, and they need productivity in this bottom half. That one's going to get over the third base, over the defense, and into left for another base hit.
Yeah, that's a good job by the shortstop, Sidney Ray, of actually getting to that after it chopped over Danica Baku's head there at third. But second hit of the game for the lone senior on this Newcastle roster, Raquel Young, on base for the second time. Now Erin McCarter, who reached on a fielder's choice error, gets her second at bat.
Then get some productivity out of this bottom of the order. That one's tipped foul for strike 1. Good pitching matchup developing here, and Mortagaris, who is, we said, struggled at times this season, but shown some pop here on the mound. That one hit sharply to third and not in time as the runners advance. And that's going to be a single for McCarter.
We'll see. I was going to say maybe an error, because it was basically right at her. It was hard hit, but
next up, Jasmine.
That's a close one. We'll go with what the game changer. That's the beautiful thing. We were talking about game changer off the air before the game, Eric, how beautiful it is. And hey, we let them make the call.
Going to be an error. You get on base any way you can.
Oh, yeah.
So 2 errors on McCarter hits, or McCarter putting the ball in play, and she reaches both times. But the more important thing is Young down to second, so the go-ahead run at second. That one, again, is going to be stopped by Ray. The force at second is there. Young advances to third.
Yeah, good heads-up play by Ray to get the ball to second base to retire McCarter going to second base. A good job by Kevin Chambers to get there. So runners on the corners, but now it's the top of the order up.
Back to Olivia Hood. The flex today, by the way, Lexi Moyer. Hood has a chance to help her own cause, so they go around Moyer and back to the top with Hood, who singled earlier.
And you wonder, will Calderero be off and running?
Two 2-0 the count to Hood.
Yeah, Hood was in a similar scenario in the second, 2 on, 2 out. Hit it hard, but right at the shortstop.
That one is outside, just misses low for ball 3, so 3-0. Hitter's pitch coming up here as Mortagaris delivers, and that is in there for strike 1.
Yeah,
3-1 to Hood.
Looked like she wanted that too. Her first hit came on a 3-0 pitch.
.24 extra base hits coming into play today. Hood puts one in play to short. Ray is there, and they get the force at second to end the threat. So once again, Newcastle has a chance to retake the lead, and they cannot get the go-ahead run across despite a couple of base hits and an error. And we stay tied at 2 through 4 innings of play on the Lawrence County Sports Network. Works in Progress Painting wishes a successful and satisfying season to all the Lawrence County sports teams and athletes. Work hard and bring honor to your team, school, and family in how you play. Joe Wright and his family have been providing painting, window cleaning, and other property services for business and homeowners in the Lawrence County area for over 10 years. Their goal on every project is to provide a meaningful service that honors their customer, God, and their family, and to have fun while doing it. Works in Progress is now booking interior painting projects for both residential and commercial projects. Call Joe today at 724-714-4294 to discuss your next project.
Nominations are now being accepted for the LCAP Team of the Month and the LGKG Male and Female Athlete of the Month. Log on to lcsportsnet.com/awards to nominate your favorite team or athlete today.
Back here at George Washington Intermediate School in Newcastle.
At the top of 5.
Tied at 2 as we are into the top of the 5th between Newcastle and Moon. A crucial game for both sides as they must win to keep their playoff chances alive.
Again, it is not a 100% foregone conclusion, but basically, yeah, for all intents and purposes, yes, a loss today is going to make things extremely difficult to get you into the postseason.
Baku leads off for Moon, struck out looking the first time up. Hood back to work, has pitched a pretty good game after that early hiccup. That was high that time, but is in there for ball 1, so 1-1 the count. That one is low for ball 2, 2-1 now. After Baku, it'll be Chambers and Danello. If anybody gets on beyond that, Sydney Ray will get a crack. High for ball 3, 3-1 the count now to Baku.
And this is key for Moon, especially, you have your 9-hitter. Hasn't gotten on base yet against Newcastle in 2 games, but to lead off here and turn it over, getting on base, that's absolutely huge, drawing that leadoff walk.
And it is as ball 4 misses high, and Baku is aboard on a walk, and that will bring up Kendall Chambers, who has doubled and singled.
Next up, Kendall Chambers.
5 hits in the last 2 meetings between these two for Chambers. That one is pop foul. Third base side, it's going to get out of play.
West Allegheny in top of the section. They're currently ranked 3rd in the Triple Live High School Sports Network rankings for Class 5A. Armstrong, they've been a power the last 3 or 4 years. They're number 1, North Hills 2, Shaler and Penn Trafford also in that top 5.
Showing bunt, Chambers lays it down perfectly, but Hood and the throw to first is wide. Rounding third and heading home for the go-ahead run is going to be Baku, and getting all the way to third base on the throwing error is Chambers.
Yeah, so sacrifice, reach on error is going to bring in the go-ahead run here in the top of the 5th inning for Moon. Now, good job of fielding it there by Olivia Hood, but then the throw just tailed in close to the runner, close enough that it was tough, almost kind of alligator arms by Nero covering, leads to the run scoring.
Sharply hit foul third base by Dianello. Dianello, remember the excellent play by Mangieri behind home plate. Her second time up, but does have a single to her credit here this afternoon. And some insurance standing right up the third base line in the form of Chambers. How about Chambers hustling around those bags? Get all the way to third on that throwing error.
She knew as soon as she saw it was an overthrow, she was going to go first to third, no question about it.
Big heavy cut by Dianello for strike 2. 1-2 the count. None gone here. And one across for Moon in the top of the 5th. Pop foul, that is going to hit the net behind home plate.
Gabby likes showing off behind the plate, though. Even though it's not in play, she said, I'm making that catch every time.
Count stays at 1-2.
Coach Brooke Wilson over at third giving the calls out. West A graduate, so has to go against her alma mater when she's coaching.
Punched in the air, right field, and out of play. So, again, the count will stay at 1-2.
Some of the other games going on in the county today. Shenango is hosting Laurel in softball action. Union hosting Southside. Mohawk traveling to Beaver Falls. Neshannock at Riverside. How about that? Both baseball and softball. Neshannock at Riverside. And Elwood City hosting Central Valley. That's a 9 o'clock start for that one.
That one again, punch foul. Right field and will be out of play.
Yeah, good job, Dianello, to fight and stay alive. Yeah, interesting you have that. Both Neshannock baseball and softball playing just a few feet from each other down at Riverside at the same time against Riverside. Actually similar here, though, because, you know, Newcastle baseball doesn't play here. They play over at Flaherty Field, but they're also playing Moon in their series today.
Sharply hit foul, third base side this time for Dianello. And stays 1-2 the count. (3-2) Moon in front. That one punched in the air, and it's going to get down for a base hit. Chambers speeding home from third for the 4th run of the afternoon. An RBI and a base hit for Dianello as she reaches for the 2nd time, and that'll bring Sydney Ray.
This beautiful piece of hitting yet again, though, to get that Toshiba RBI.
Next up, Sydney Ray.
Working the right side of the field there, Eric, and just kind of, you said it perfectly, punching it really out there to get that hit.
And Ray, that one low, and down to second is going to go Dianello. Tip foul, that hit Mangieri in the mask. And she goes down. Hopefully is okay. That was scary that time. That was tipped and right back into her protective gear, thankfully for the mask and the helmet, but she's a little shaken up and is able to get up and nod in approval that she feels okay.
Yeah, I think just stunned her there for a minute. She'll take a second to make sure.
Now, even though you got the cage on over the face and the helmet, and these pieces of equipment are much more protective than what they used to be back. I'm slightly older than you, but much more improved back than compared to when I played. But even when there's foul balls, you know, we're looking up, even though the net reaches up pretty high. I mean, you got to really get under one foul to put it over top of the netting here and land where we are, right by home plate. But you still look around. You're still stunned by those type of things. I mean, the reverberation when those things hit your helmet or your face mask is certainly something that's going to stun you. That one's sharply hit to third and gets through Young into right for a poke.
That'll be the second error of the inning. Oh, again, we'll see the official ruling as it kind of went through the wickets of Raquel Young there at third. Runners on the corners. Still nobody out here. All beginning with that leadoff walk. Newcastle, they've shown some life, though, as the Cardiac Kids late in a couple of these last games. They need to get out of this one first.
Those goes an E5. No throw down to second as Ray will advance down to second. So now runners on second and third. It's Dianello on third, Ray on second, and you've got Chambers at the dish. That one is low and misses for ball 2.
Lexi Moyer in the flex. She's the only person who has thrown innings for Newcastle other than Olivia Hood on the year. Just 10 innings compared to Hood coming in just shy of 60.
That one low again. 3-0 the count now as Hood starting to maybe labor ever so slightly as she tosses the ball back in her mitt. That one is high, and the bases are loaded on the walk to Chambers.
So 2 walks, 2 errors in the inning. Walks and errors, Eric. It's what all coaches say will kill you, and especially when they get strung together like this. And I think you're going to get a LGKG trip to the mound. A little consultation coming here for the Canes. That's going to be Coach Anthony Mangieri heading out to the mound to talk with Olivia Hood. Visit lgkg.com for a free consultation of your own. Your insurance company not always on your side, but the law offices of Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly, and George are. So bases loaded, nobody out. Abby Warren Garris 0 for 2 on the day will be coming to the plate. Moon started this game on fire. First 3 batters all with hits, but only scored 1 run in the inning. Kiara Mangieri with a 2-run homer in the bottom of the first gave Newcastle the lead at 2-1. Chambers scored her 2nd run of the game when sister Cameron Chambers hit a RBI double, tied it at 2 in the 5th inning. And now here in the top of the 5th inning, leadoff walk from Danica Baku, and then Kendall Chambers' sacrifice reaches on an error. They both score, and here we are with nowhere to put them, and the first one misses well upstairs for ball 1.
As James said, nowhere to go. And that one is in there for ball 2. Now, Hood has pitched well for Newcastle here today, but has to get out of this jam with no further damage. And that one is high, but in there for strike 1.
Yeah, it just catches at the letters. A little grin from Warren Garris.
Warren Garris, a chance here to help her cause. Sharply hit up the middle. That's going to score at least 2. Rounding third and heading home, and crossing home plate is Ray. Dianello there first, and 2 more across for Moon here in the 5th.
Yeah, good swing there. Almost a golf swing, really, the way she went down and got that. Hit it right back where it came, right through the circle. We'll have our first Castle Asphalt courtesy runner of the game coming in. Courtesy for the pitcher. That's number 0, Cadence Horgan, running at first.
Next up, Macy Tross.
Exactly what could not happen here if you're Newcastle. And a big cut that time by Trost for strike 1.
Good bunt.
Late in front, Hood misplays it at first, and then the throw to first is off the mark. That's going to go down as another error, and a chance here once again for Moon with the bases loaded.
So the second sacrifice reach on an error of the inning for Moon.
Up,
Good job to recover from Hood, but because of the recovery, she had to throw it very quickly and just a little bit too hot to handle for Nero, who was covering.
Pop foul, first base side that time. Zalen has struck out both times here this afternoon. Started the game in the circle and then switched around. They went back to Warner Garris, their usual starter. 4 spot on the board here for Moon. Newcastle trying to get out of this one. This one flown out to center, and almost a collision, but run tagging and scoring is Chambers on the sacrifice by Zalen, and now a 5-run inning for Moon as they take a 7-2 lead.
Yeah, good job of McCarter in center field to call off Rose, and good job by Rose of dodging at the last second.
Schumann, first base side off the net, and foul.
9th batter of the inning, though, here, and just 1 down. Schumann, a strikeout and a groundout in her 2 plate appearances.
7-2 Moon in front as Hood delivers, and that one chip foul. Looked like maybe it hit the ankle of Schumann.
I mentioned it a couple times, hate to say it, 9 errors the first time they played, 3 in this inning for Newcastle.
That one is hit right to second and trying to get the double up at first. Good play, though, at second base that time by Nero.
Yeah, Nero, after making the catch, it looked like she kind of got the ball caught in her glove, just couldn't quite get it out in time to give that little overhand flick to Angelina J.
Baku, who started this thing off with a walk.
A little more confidence in this 3rd time through the order. Everybody's swinging the bat. Again, first pitch swinging there from Baku. Hadn't put a bat on the ball in 2 games against Newcastle. Comes up swinging there, fouls it back to the fence.
And is in there for strike 2 0-2, and this is an absolute get-out pitch right now. If you are Newcastle, you got to get Hood. That one's fisted foul. Low, but roped to third, and the play at third. What an excellent job defensively, saving what could have been a big-time play. Kiara Mangieri with a nice defensive effort, and Newcastle's finally out of it. However, 5 runs across for Moon in the top half of the 5th, and they take a commanding 7-2 lead here over Newcastle. As this one getting a little late, and Newcastle's going to have to find some offense here late in this one.
More and more, people are consuming information on screens. Businesses that want to engage, educate, or entertain clients are turning to Toshiba to provide inspired communication with digital signage experiences that attract attention in novel and entertaining ways. Information needs to be managed to be effective, and organizations can trust Toshiba to provide solutions for improved workflow, which help to securely store, organize, and manage information, whether in digital or physical form. Toshiba, empowering the art of business.
Looking for quality concrete services, contact the experienced professionals at Doran Concrete. Our company is family, locally owned and operated, and has been serving the community for over 30 years. Get residential or commercial concrete services for any size job. Our skilled professionals offer prompt and reliable services at an affordable price. We believe in the principles of honesty, integrity, and reliability. Get in touch with us for exceptional concrete.
Back here in the bottom of the 5th, Newcastle trying to recoup some of that damage done. 7-2 Moon, as Gabby Mangieri will lead things off.
And, that's got to be part of it right there. You're down 5. You can't get 5 runs on one swing of the bat. Go and chip away a little bit here. Chip away a little this inning, a little bit next inning, and then, if necessary, into your 7th inning at bat, too. But you still got 3 chances at it.
Got to make the most of them here, too. This is a critical situation here for Newcastle and their playoff chances. That one is outside for ball 2. 2-1 the count. And Warner Garris, who, we said it, off speed and beautifully done, but in there for ball 3.
Yeah, good hold there by Mangieri.
We said it that, Warner Garris has struggled with giving up the runs, the hits, but really has locked down this Newcastle team since she came in relief here early in this game. 3-2 now.
Yeah, you're right. Both runs coming off of the starting pitcher, and Kylie Zalen.
Full count. Sharply hit the short. Ray, long throw in high, and beating, it was a high throw anyway. Mangieri is going to be in there and aboard.
Yeah, I think that's an infield single there. Was hustling down the line. That was going to be a tough play no matter what.
Let's see how it is ruled, but I do believe you will be correct.
Big score update here. South Fayette leading Western Beaver 5-2. And why is that key? Because Western Beaver coming in with a 3-5 section record. If the results stand as they are, it is still a win-in-your-in scenario for Newcastle.
That is a single for Mangieri. Kiara Mangieri now, and that one fouled third base side. Big opportunity here, big spot for Newcastle. They have, Kiara Mangieri asked for a brief time. They have got to get some runs back across. That is outside for ball 2, 2-1 the count.
Let me correct myself real quick. It's not necessarily a win and you're in. It's a winner has a chance to get in depending on what Moon does in their game Thursday. They don't play Wednesday. They play Thursday at Mars. Beautiful pitch there.
That really was off speed and nicely done, 2-2.
Yeah, since coming in, only 3 hits allowed. 2 of them by Gabby Mangieri standing on first. 4 hits total, excuse me.
Moon and Mars colliding on Thursday. That one sharply hit into left and a base knock for Kiara Mangieri, and up to second is going to be Gabby Mangieri. And that'll set the plate here for Rose to come up.
And Celia Rose, 8 ribbies on the year.
Next up,
She's the only player on the team other than Kiara Mangieri with a dinger on the season. And another freshman. So Gabby Mangieri, Celia Rose, Angelina J, Lexi Moyer, 4 freshmen in this starting lineup.
Celia Rose trying to rip one first base side, but that is foul. Grounded out and does have a base hit here this afternoon.
And a Bennick home run just made it 6-2 now in favor of South Fayette in that one.
That one is low. And there for ball 2. 2-1 the count out of Rose.
Well, let's look back at this for a minute too, Eric. Remember when Olivia Hood got caught stealing in that first inning? Shortened that inning, shortened what could have been a 3 home run to a 2-runner.
That one low again.
And I think being smart on the base paths here are the Mangieri sisters, because really their runs mean very little right now. You need 5. You can't go and afford trying to squeeze an extra 60 feet. Gotta let your big dogs eat at the plate.
Rose ripped up the middle, right at second, and they'll get the force at second. So Rose will reach on a fielder's choice, and stepping up to third is going to be Gabby Mangieri.
And Kiara Mangieri, good job of running the bases, avoiding the contact, first and foremost. She is still at second base. Did I miss something?
They ruled her safe.
Did she drop the ball? I did not see. Did you?
I did not
Did
either.
you see anything?
They're discussing this here. Let's see.
I apologize. I missed that completely.
Yeah, I missed that too. I thought that force was.
I'll have to check out on my own LCAP instant replay. Gives us a chance to remind you here, folks, that the nominations are open and available for the LCAP Team of the Month, as well as your LGKG Male and Female Athletes of the Month.
Now, it's still been ruled a fielder's choice, so evidently, and no error has been assessed yet. So let's assume that there was a drop there somewhere. I mean, at second, there was an out.
Oh, she did not touch second base.
Did not touch second.
You can see it very good on our replay there when you go and watch the archive, or if you are on YouTube, rewind it for about a minute now.
Okay. That one is hit in the air to right and back and hitting up against the fence. This is going to score at least 2. Rose rounding second, headed to third. The Mangieris have scored. Rose slides in there, and it's a double and a much-needed base hit by Nero. A deep 2 RBI double for Nero, and it's now 7-4.
Oh, she got all of that, and I'll tell you what, good base running too, because she had to wait and hold up. Celia Rose went back towards the bag. She's only able to get to third base, but good job of Nero's waiting for it, seeing and making sure that she can get to the base she needs to, as we'll have another LGKG consultation. Great base running all around here in this inning for Newcastle, and they get 2 of the runs back that they need, and still 2 ducks on the pond for Angelina J. But how about that shot, the second double of the year for Nero?
Perfect spot here for Jay. 281 this season, 1 extra base hit on the season. So an opportunity here for Jay to do some damage. 0 for 2 here this afternoon. And it just got a little bit more interesting here.
Yeah, but second time through the lineup now against Warren Garris, the second pitcher of the day for Moon. Now starting to maybe feel it. Only 3 hits in the first 3 innings that she pitched. Well, 3 now allowed in this inning. Angelina hitting .250 on the year.
Sharply hit to third. Good play at third, and the throw on to first. And Rose coming across for the 5th run of the afternoon for Newcastle. So they do get the run.
7th ribby of the year for Angelina. Tell you what, there might have been a play if they wanted to try to get the play at the plate there and cut off the run, but I think that's a good call by Moon. Give up the run, let's get the out, Yeah, it's now down to just a 2-run game, but this is I think that's a big out to get.
Young showing bunt, lays it down, but it's foul, first base side.
Yeah, safety squeeze really there. Nero wasn't off and running with the pitch.
So it is Nero standing at third. Bags open at first and second.
Big response here, though, for the Canes, and can they get one more in?
Pair of singles for Young today. Looks at that one, but it's there for ball one, so 1-1 the count.
All right, down to the difference in this game. Newcastle 4 errors, Moon with 2. Moon was able to fight through their errors, not give up runs. Canes struggled in that inning.
Showing the bunt again, and coming in from first to make the play is Trost. And the throw over to third to get Nero, who didn't properly tag, and the inning is over. But 3 more runs for Newcastle as they cut this thing down to 7-5. Much needed offense for the Hurricanes in the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll go to the 6th. You're watching live coverage of softball on the Lawrence County Sports Network.
At Medore Bonner Law, we're more than just attorneys. We're your community partners. With a combined experience that spans decades, attorneys Jason Medore, Michael Bonner, and Greg Rossitelli are your trusted advisors for all legal matters. From personal injury to estate planning, business law to family disputes, we are here to guide you through every step of the legal process. Our full-service, community-based approach ensures that you're not just a client, but a valued member of our family. Give us a call or visit us online at MedoreBonnerLaw.com for more information.
For more than 120 years, people have relied on Martindale-Hubbell's preeminent rating to select their attorneys. If you've been involved in an automobile accident, you should do the same. At LGKG, we have been preeminently rated for over 40 years.
Firefly Solar is a proud sponsor of LC SportsNet. From our regional business partnership to our community benefits agreement with local schools, Firefly Solar is dedicated to being an outstanding neighbor and beacon of economic support for the Lawrence County community. Let's create a stronger energy infrastructure while preserving the agricultural beauty of Lawrence County. Visit fireflysolarpa.com.
Back here as we get set for the top of the 6th. James Dotson will take you the rest of the way.
Thank you, sir. His first pitch coming in here from Olivia Hood hits the front of the plate and bounces up over everybody. It's top of the order, due up, 4th time through the lineup. Chambers, Dianello, and Ray here in the top of the 6th inning. Chambers has been on base 3 times and touched home plate 3 times. And this one, line drive right at the center fielder. Oh, went in and out of the glove. I thought McCarter was able to squeeze it. That ball had a lot of tail on it, and that's going to allow Chambers to go all the way to second base.
Yeah, just misplayed. Not sure, looking into the direction of the sun, if that was going to be an issue there or not. This is an opportunity here again as Moon trying to get these runs back. McCarter made a good beeline on the ball, but I think just looking up in the sun was a bit of a problem.
Ground ball to short. Mangieri gets the out and throw back across the diamond is going to get away, and that's going to allow Chambers to score. It's a good quick throw back across from Angelina J, but it was a little bit off target for Young to get to. 6-3 on the putout for the first out of the inning, but a run will score.
Big time insurance run too. A lot of that momentum that Newcastle had, and then you look at what's due up is that it's fouled way out of play. You have McCarter, you have Calderero, and then back to the top of the order for Newcastle. So important for Moon to tack on insurance. That is a big, big run.
Great off-speed pitch there for strike 2 to Sidney Ray. 1 for 3 with a run and an RBI for the shortstop. This one, line drive just past the glove of Raquel Young. That's going to make it all the way to the fences. This will be double extra bases as well. Called the hot corner, and that one just got by Young before she could even move the glove. Hot shot.
Next up, Cameron Chambers.
I'll tell you, Ray is just a very good hitter. Makes contact on almost everything thrown her way. Third hit today, rather. No, second, I correct myself. Does have a big RBI in this game, though. Puts herself in scoring position, and now Hood's going to have to go back to work. They have got to get out of this jam without any further damage done.
Cameron Chambers swings and misses for strike one. RBI double in the third, and she's going to reach bases. That one hits off her left shoulder. First hit batsman for either team today. And Hood averaging about a hit batsman per game.
Next up, Abby Warnick-Jairus.
Abby Warren-Jairus now to the plate, 2 on, 1 out. First pitch catches the inside corner for strike one. She had the 2 RBI single in her last at bat that really broke this one open.
Yeah, really helping her own cause and pitching very well in relief today.
That one just misses outside, evens the count at 1-1. Lydia Hood now over 100 pitches on the day as well. This one's popped up on the right side of the infield. This will be an infield fly if fair, and it's caught right on the foul line for the second out of the inning. And I don't think I heard a infield fly call there, Eric. Should have been.
Yeah, should have been, but
Next up,
to no avail.
Trost.
Either way, getting out of it's the modus operandi right now. They got 2 outs and a chance here. Golden opportunity for Hood to get out of it, and then they can get back to the top of the order offensively.
Macy Trost began at first base, moved out to left field. Watch his first pitch miss upstairs for a ball. 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts, and reached on a sacrifice error. Fouls this one straight back into the screen. Well, we were expecting a higher scoring game. This is exactly what we were expecting.
18 runs the first time, 13 today. Still not done yet.
This one up at the eyes. 2-1 now, the count. 8-9-1 hitters due up in the bottom of the 6th inning. That's McCarter, Calderero, and Olivia Hood. Swing and a miss. Took a little something off of that one there, Eric. She's mixed her velocity very well today.
Yeah, I agree with that. And trying to hit those corners a couple of times. Good control by Hood. I know she's struggled here at times, but there's another one off speed.
End of the bat, we have obstruction. Doesn't matter. Kara Mangiuri able to make the catch to end the inning. Another run scored, an unearned run with 1 hit and 2 errors, and a couple of runners left on the bags. 8-5, your score here at Newcastle, bottom of the 6th inning when we return at lcsportsnet.com.
Tired of gasoline costs? Why drive? Let the Newcastle Transit Authority take you where you want to go. Serving the city of Newcastle and stops throughout Lawrence County, as well as weekday service to Pittsburgh. Public transportation just makes sense. Why drive when you can relax and ride? For more information or for route schedules, log on to newcastletransit.org. The Newcastle Transit Authority, going your way. And remember, senior citizens ride free.
Nominations are now being accepted for the LCAP Team of the Month and the LGKG Male and Female Athlete of the Month. Log on to lcsportsnet.com/awards to nominate your favorite team or athlete today.
Give a shout out to our friends at the Newcastle Transit Authority. I'll get you some out-of-town scores here going on right now. Neshannock leading Riverside 11-1. Laurel leading Shenango 12-1 in softball action. Mohawk leading 5-1 over Beaver Falls. On the baseball diamond, how about Mohawk and Shenango doing battle? 6-3 the score. Mohawk leading that one on the road. Laurel leading Freedom 4-1. Elwood City leading 11-1 over Beaver Falls. That's another softball score. Riverside, my goodness, they're doing it again. 9-0 they lead Neshannock in that one. And Union Baseball with an 11-1 lead over St. Joseph's. One final already in. Union 15, Southside 3. That is the first non-15 run rule for Union on the year, but it is still a 10-run rule, Eric, so it's still good for something.
Love the 10-run rule, and that has come into play more than a handful of times, as you mentioned, for Union this year. Sometimes you just have teams top to bottom that are overpowering at various levels. These two teams about even here as far as it goes, but now's the time here if you're Newcastle. You got to make them pay. You got to make Moon pay here, get on base, really set it up for the top of your order. It's paramount the top of the order gets through here in this inning.
Carter hit that one hard, but just fouled on the third base line. Coach Lloyd Ladd actually coaches from the dugout. It's Anthony Mangieri coaching at third base. Heard him say between the innings, hey, just base runners. That's all we need. Base runners, find your way around. 1-1 pitch is lifted towards right center field. Settling under it there is Schumann in right to make the catch. Or excuse me, that's Zalen who moved out to right field to make the first count of the inning.
Next up, Jasmine Calderero.
Jasmine Calderero now to the plate.
Get something in play here. She can pull on the third base side. There's a lot of space out and right, excuse me, on left field right now.
First pitch misses for ball one. Yeah, no dimensions listed out here. I meant to ask before the game with the new turf field. Eventually have a press box will be built for next year. Back behind home plate as this one's popped up on the right side of the infield. Kendall Chambers settles under it. 2 up, 2 down, and out top of the order. And can Newcastle put together a little 2-out lightning?
You can look at this one of two ways here, James. Number one, I mean, obviously the top of the order if Hood gets on.
Next up,
the Mangeris hopefully will get cracks at it if you're Newcastle. But either way, you're going to have some thunder coming up in the 7th, and you need to maximize your chances here. And they can really, if they get out of this inning without any production, can come back with those two to lead things off in the 7th. That might actually bode well for them one way or another. You prefer to just have them all come to the dish right now and do the damage.
1-1 to count to Hood. Upstairs 2-1. Singled in the first, stole second, was caught stealing third on a bang-bang play, and then a couple of groundouts in her last 2 at-bats. Catches the outside corner, 2-2. Now the count. Good job waiting back and pokes it into center field, and there's one hit.
Boy, that was an excellent piece of hitting right there. I mean, that off speed was coming in so slow, and to time that out and really not even get – it was almost like a check swing to punch that thing with authority out to center. Excellent piece of hitting by Hood.
It's, I mean, you can teach it all you want and try to stress it, but, you know, your bottom half is full, but to keep the top half back enough to be able to throw the hands at it. Beautiful piece of hitting there. And now G-Money to the plate, Gabby Mangieri. Love all the animations even they got going on with the scoreboard up there for all the players. Beautiful facility they've put together here at GW. This one's down in the pebbles, and it's going to get away. Wild pitch will move Hood to second base. And Warren Garris, again, didn't pitch to the first 3 batters of the game, but she's kept her pitch count down in the low 70s. This one catches the inside corner. 2-1 now the count. Pitch count obviously not nearly as important, no limits like in baseball. However, it is still quite important when it comes to fatigue. This one, grounder towards short, taking on 2 hops deep in the hole, gonna have to hurry, and it's not gonna be in time to get the speedy Gabby Mangieri. Third hit of the game, second of the infield hit variety for Mangieri, and that brings the tying run to the plate.
And who is it? It's Kiara Mangieri, who had the big 2-run homer early in the game. And I mean, that thing was a rocket when she hit it. That was, again, you can hear the wind, but this is not wind aided here today. That was all power on that 2-run homer.
Yeah, if anything, the wind maybe slightly blowing in. First pitch misses downstairs, and the question is how many chances are you going to give Mangieri to swing? If you are Moons, that one catches the outside corner. If you're Warren Garris, are you coming right at her, or are you trying to get her to chase something off the plate?
No, I'm going to try to pitch around her, honestly. I mean, you've got second base open. I know that would load the bases, but I can't take any chances with her.
And there it is. Deep fly ball, right field. Forget about it. Her second of the game, and it ties it up. Right on cue, Eric. You said you want maybe let somebody else beat you. No chance. She had 2 home runs all year coming into this one. A moonshot and a half.
That is 2 absolute no doubt abouters by that young lady today, showing off some serious muscle. Once again, leaves the bat, the crack of it, and that thing was, there was no chance this park was going to hold that.
Oppo Taco to tie it up.
And see, James, you mentioned it. That's exactly why I'm pitching around her. I know it's dangerous to load the bases.
And bring the go-ahead run to the plate. I know what you're saying.
You have to play percentages here because Rose has grounded out and reached on a fielder's choice. She does have a signal. But
well, look what she does. She whips one into the right center gap. And now the go-ahead run stands at second base.
Yeah, I think you really – now that could have been big-time problems there had it played out the way it did.
Next to the batter's box.
But I still think you pitch around Mangieri there. You get to Rose, try to get her out. Yeah, Nero's got a RBI double today, but you play percentages and get to that bottom half of the order where you've had some success here today. I don't flirt with the big-time hitters. I'll tell you a story about that here in a second.
And another hard hit ball towards the right center gap, but reaching out, making a catch. Dianello saved more extra bases, and instead of the go-ahead run scoring for Newcastle, a Web Gem nominee for Dianello ends the inning. 2-out Lightning, though. 3 runs on 4 hits in that 6th inning. We're tied at 8. Don't go anywhere, folks. Big finish coming here from GW here at LCSportsNet.com.
Don't get left out to dry. Call the Penn Ohio Bottled Water Company for the fastest and most efficient bottled water delivery service in the area. Penn Ohio offers bottled water ranging from 16.9-ounce bottles to 5-gallon jugs, perfect for your next event or office water cooler system. Also, don't forget to ask about their custom labeling options. Visit PennOhioBottledWater.com for more information and to get a quote on their delivery services. Whether it's at home, in the office, or on the sidelines, Penn Ohio has you covered.
I think the key to any attorney-client relationship is trust. My father told me a long time ago, the definition of personal integrity is really simple. Do what you say you're going to do. At LGKG, we've been doing that for over 80 years.
I love what I do because coming in every day is different.
How can you not enjoy these kids coming up and hugging you and giving you these great smiles all throughout the day?
Seeing the progress that our kids make every single day is one of the reasons I love coming to school.
What should we do? We have fun.
LCAP Early Learning Centers is hiring. Help empower young minds in Lawrence County and become a superhero today. Apply at lcap.org.
Top of the 7th inning here. Newcastle and Moon tied at 8. After the 3-run home run in the bottom of the 6th inning from Kiera Mangieri to tie it up. How about all that with 2 outs, though, there, Eric?
Yeah, that's the big part. And you just had a feeling that if Hood were to reach and they got to the Mangieris, one way or another, was he going to be in that inning or was going to be in at the bottom of the 7th with a chance possibly to do the same thing. And it just so happens that it was the way it was. Mangieri's been the star here this afternoon.
That one misses upstairs, 2-1 to count. Yeah, 5 RBI, a 2-run home run, and a 3-run home run for Kiera Mangieri. And now 3 runs scored as well. But 7, 8, 9 hitters up here for Moon. Canes need to get out of this inning and give their team a chance to win it off in the bottom of the 7th. Pop fly on the right side of the infield. Good job to fight off the sun by Jenna Laniero to get that big first out of the inning. Eric, you were telling me a story between innings of a crazy situation. Bases loaded, star player up, and you walk in the run rather than pitch to him?
Yeah, it was a 1-0 game I covered back in the day. We're talking like 15 years ago. And one of the players for Redland High School, Liz Christensen, she was an absolute monster at the plate. I mean, I think had like 9 home runs that season and was killing the ball. And Kelly Farrell, the legendary softball coach at Central Dauphin, with a 1-0 lead and the bases loaded, opted to walk Christensen. And after the game, told me, I'm not stupid enough to pitch to her with anybody, on the bags, let alone the bases full. And
check swing is going to be towards first base and almost came back fair. But it did go into foul territory. There's a lot of English on it. It almost curled its way back into fair territory.
It backfired on Central Dauphin. They lost the game 2-1 in what was a really well-played game. But I'll never forget Kelly Farrell telling me, you know, if nobody was on, I'm walking her. I can't let her hit. She's not beating me. Somebody else will.
I remember Sarah Catholic baseball with Mark Black. I mean, such a great player he was, and Coach Sorrenda moved him to the leadoff spot because, hey, at least one time a game, no matter what, you're not going to walk him. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Big strikeout, number 7 of the game, first that she's had, though, since the 4th inning. I got that for 9 strikeouts in the game now for Olivia Hood. But it was funny because he said that and then jokingly said to me as I was about to do the game, he said, oh, at least you're going to pitch to him once, right? No, somebody actually did intentionally walk him on the first bat of the game in the top of the 1st inning. Danica back 2 with 2 down now. Newcastle will have the 6, 7, 8 hitters, and Jay Young and McCarter due up in the bottom of the 7th as this one's fouled back to the screen. Count even at 1-1. Baku led off the 5th with a walk and scored. That was part of the 5-run 5th for Moon. They led 7-2 at that point, but Newcastle with 3 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th to tie it back up. Baku inside-out swing, fouled on the right field line, 1-2. Last score count, South Fayette was leading Western by a count of 10-2. This one fouled back, and that one got the umpire. He gives a thumbs up. He's good. Love it. And so Newcastle had a chance still to make playoffs with a loss today. Basically, Moon does not have that luxury. This one in the Pebbles, 2-2 the count. And how long has it been? Newcastle last time in the playoffs was back in 2019. They haven't won a playoff game since a preliminary round win back in 2012. A 9-4 win against Katanning, a school that doesn't even exist anymore. Katanning and Ford City merging to become Armstrong just shy of a decade ago. Payoff pitch to Baku, swung on and missed. 10th strikeout and a biggie. 3rd time that Moon has gone down in order. Canes now with a chance to walk it off in the bottom of the 7th. Don't go anywhere here at LCSportsNet.com, powered by LCAP.
That was awesome.
Bottom of the 7th inning, can the Canes walk it off? And it's going to be Angelina Jay leading off the freshman. Jay, Young, and McCarter due up.
Jay's got an RBI here today, but has grounded out each time. Raquel Young, though, 2 hits in the bottom of this order.
And at this point, all it could take is one swing of the bat, but you're not thinking that right now if you're Newcastle. You're thinking, get me on base.
No, we said it too. Bottom of the order for one of these 2 teams might be what dictates the winner.
Slow roller to short. Good job to charge and fire across by Sydney Ray. She's played a great game here at shortstop here today, Eric. Very fluid.
Yeah, done a lot of damage at the plate all around. Good defensive player as well. See, I think this is the important part right here at the bottom of this order. Young is the one that's got a couple of hits here this afternoon. Get her on base, maybe get some advancement somewhere, and then if you can really get back to the top of the order, that would be huge for this Newcastle team.
Good pitch there from Warren Garris. Gets Young to chase down in the Pebbles. Ground ball towards the hole. It's short. Deep play for Ray. Throw across will not be in time. Third infield hit of the game for Raquel Young.
Good piece of hitting. It was a good play, too, at short by Ray. I mean, she is not going to let much get past her, but moving over after it takes that high bounce didn't let her enough time to get set and fire properly over, and Young was racing down the line, had a good head start on that ball as it bounced into the glove of Ray, but a little high that time and didn't let her get set properly.
McCarter's been on base twice, both via the air. She spurs the bunt and lays one down beautifully. Taken by the third baseman, throw the first in time. Sacrifice moves Young into scoring position. I like it. Now your potential game-winning run stands at second base, and I think we might have a pinch hitter coming. I think they're going to ask whether she pulled her foot off the bag at first. I think she held it long enough. I believe it was Chambers who was covering.
They called her out.
Yeah, I thought so. It was tight. As again, I believe it was Chambers, the second baseman, covering. She got her foot off of there in a hurry. But now you got Jasmine Calderero. 0 for 2 today. 9-hitter. With a chance to play the hero. And she hits her own. Past the second baseman for a base hit. Rounding third is Raquel Young to the plate. And she's in there. The Canes' playoff hopes are still alive. The walk-off single from Yasmin Calderero.
We said it, if Young get on base, she was the best contact hitter in the bottom part of that lineup all day long. Huge for her to get on base and then advance, a little bit of small ball to get her over to second base, and a timely piece of hitting by Calderero. But bottom of the order, who stepped up? Raquel Young, bottom of Newcastle's order.
The 9-hitter in a year that's been dominated by the top of the order. Only her third hit of the year, a walk-off win for Newcastle, 9-8. We'll recap it all on our Tri-County Principals postgame show. Back in a moment on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
Castle Asphalt and Construction is driven to provide quality, cost-efficient pavement-related services to Western Pennsylvania. Every paving or construction service at Castle Asphalt begins with a thorough site inspection of the area to allow their team of professionals to become familiar with the unique conditions of your home or business. Once the site inspection is complete, Castle Asphalt provides you with a detailed plan of the design, cost, materials, and time of completion, so you know exactly what to expect during your construction. Visit castleasphalt.com to request a quote for your next project and make your dream design come to fruition.
For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $30 visit to the Melee Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapy is necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game.
Just like going to the doctor, our homes need a checkup too. If your home is not properly weatherized, you could be at risk for symptoms that cause unhealthy ailments and higher utility bills. The Weatherization Assistance Program is the key to reducing utility costs and increasing comfort in your home. Services include an in-home energy audit to inspect your furnace and hot water tank, check for air sealing around windows and doors, and ensure adequate insulation and ventilation. Learn more at lcap.org or call the Department of Healthy Homes to get your checkup today.
When it comes to shopping for insurance, there are thousands of options out there. MVP Insurance proactively shops and compares your policies to find the best coverage and rate. Josh Madur and David Verratti want to provide you with the level of personalized service that you know that you are the MVP of their agency. They simplify insurance so you can live stress-free. Visit one of the locations in Xenia Leopold or in New Springfield, Ohio. Call MVP for the win. Proud sponsor of the MVP of the game on the Lawrence County SportsNet.
Just like going to the doctor, our homes need a checkup too. If your home is not properly weatherized, you could be at risk for symptoms that cause unhealthy ailments and higher utility bills. The Weatherization Assistance Program is the key to reducing utility costs and increasing comfort in your home. Services include an in-home energy audit to inspect your furnace and hot water tank, check for air sealing around windows and doors, and ensure adequate insulation and ventilation. Learn more at lcap.org or call the Department of Healthy Homes to get your checkup today.
Congratulations to our March LCAP Team of the Month. The Lawrence County SportsNet is proud to honor Neshannock as the March LCAP Team of the Month after winning their third PIAL championship in the last 4 years. Congratulations to Coach Mark Multeri and the Neshannock team, your March LCAP Team of the Month.
That was awesome.
Tri-County Principals postgame show here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. A walk-off win for Newcastle. Flare the dramatic. Keep their season officially alive. They will be in a win and you're in, lose and go home scenario against Western Beaver on Wednesday. And unfortunately for Moon, with the loss, they are eliminated from playoff contention here on the season. I'm James Dotson, Eric Thomas alongside Eric. Back and forth game. Newcastle able to weather the storm. A 5-run fifth inning. They're able to fight through it, chip away, chip back, and end up getting, it was the key from the get-go. Who's going to get it done in the bottom of the order? It's Yasmin Calderero doing it.
Yeah, really did a nice job. Good timely piece of hitting that time. Last go, really in that inning. And, you know, we said it in the 6th. If they could just get...
No two companies create the same way.
7th inning, but you go back to that bottom of the 6th, and what happens there when they get back around to Hood, and then they get Gabby Mangieri on, small ball, get her over Mangieri, Kiera Mangieri, then the big 3-run homer. It really just is how these things work out. It's sort of funny how the softball gods smile down on you, looking like they're not going to get to the top of the order in the 6th. They do, and that was just a fantastic offensive output, and I still go back to the point that I probably would have pitched around Kiera Mangieri in that spot, but they opted not to. She made her pay, 5 RBI, 2 home runs today. You can't really say anything else about her.
Yeah, you can. You can say that she's the MVP of the game.
That's true.
She is your MVP Insurance MVP of the game. Let's just get that out of the way right now. 3 for 4, 3 runs, the 5 ribbies on the year, or on the day, I should say. We chase down our papers as the wind blows up. MVP Insurance proud to award Kiera Mangieri as today's MVP Insurance MVP of the game. She'll receive her customized T-shirt here momentarily, courtesy of the Red Zone, a recognition of being today's MVP Insurance MVP of the game. Congratulations, Kiera Mangieri. A 2-run shot and a 3-run shot, both no doubters. Your MVP Insurance MVP of the game. Call MVP for the win. And I love it too. Went with the pitch on that second home run especially. Goes with it, and a no-doubter. I mean, easily 240, 250 down into the right center gap.
Yeah, that was we said it too. There was no wind aiding any of those balls that were hit out. That was all power on both those home runs today and all power on those deep shots. This Newcastle team has a good makeup, and you hope now, if they are able to parlay this into getting in the postseason, that the bottom of this order, which Young with a bunch of base hits today, Calderero the game-winning hit, you hope that that now starts to generate some confidence and they really start to get this bottom of the order working, because if they can piece that together, and now you have problems for pitchers, not just 1 through 4, 1 through 5, but if you can get it like in 6, 7, 8, 9, that's going to help this team out a lot. I think they maybe have found some confidence here today.
Real quick, your Creative Edge scoring summary, as Moon got the first 3 batters on base in the top of the first inning, a single, a walk, or excuse me, a double, a single, and a single. plating the first run of the game. It was 1-0. Kiera Mangieri getting her first home run in the bottom of the first. A 2-run shot, scoring sister Gabby as well. 2-1 Newcastle. Moon tied it back up after a Chambers leadoff single. She would score an RBI double from sister Cameron Chambers to tie it at 2 in the third. They exploded, did Moon, in the fifth with a 5-run inning, a leadoff walk from the 9-hitter. 3 errors in the inning, a 2 RBI double, single for Warren Garris, and a sac fly from Tylee Zalen bringing in the runs as they bat around, taking a 7-2 lead. Newcastle, to their credit, stays in it. Mangieri's each with a single. Rose reaches on a fielder's choice. Everybody's safe, bases are loaded. Jenna Laniero gets a 2-run double, and then Angelina J, an RBI groundout, made it that point a 7-5 score line. Moon gets an insurance run, goes back up when Chambers reaches on an error and later scores on an error in the inning to make it 8-5. 3 runs right back with 2 outs as well. That's what's crazy. Olivia hit with a single, Mangieri an infield single, and then Kiera Mangieri, that 3-run home run to tie it up. Cecilia Rose with a double. She nearly scores on a big hit from Jenna Laniero as well. That was a crazy scenario. They could almost took the lead in the 6th. They get the 3 outs they need in order in the top of the 7th inning. Does Newcastle of Moon, and then a 1-out infield single from Raquel Young, sacrificed to second by Erin McCarter, and then the RBI walk-off single to right field by Yasmin Calderero to win the game. That's your Melee Chiropractic play of the game, the walk-off for Yasmin Calderero. She just got her customized T-shirt as well, courtesy of the Red Zone, in recognition of being tonight's Melee Chiropractic play of the game. Congratulations again, Yasmin Calderero. Tonight's Melee Chiropractic play of the game. Let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game. Do have to mention a couple of great defensive plays that we had to overlook because of the walk-off. Kiera Mangieri at short, the 6 unassisted. You don't see that often, getting it out at third base. And talk about the 2 big foul outs by the catcher, Gabby Mangieri, she made in that one inning.
And one of them was popped like literally right in front of her that she had to react so quickly to. But you think about how this game plays out, how big of an out that was. And then another one where it was popped up behind her. She sort of turned with her back to the pitcher and then readjusted herself to make the play in the air. Those were 2 phenomenal plays, but the first one where it was just literally tipped right in front of her, inches in front of her, and to quick get out of her stance and react and catch that, you don't know long term if that saves a run, if that batter stays alive, what happens, especially in a game like this. That's a huge out.
Time of your game, 1 hour and 40 minutes. Winning pitcher is Olivia Hood. She struck out 10, gave up 8 runs, only 3 were earned on 8 hits. The losing pitcher in relief was Abby Warren Garris. 12 hits, 8 runs, 7 of which were earned in her relief. And how about this? I'm going to double check my numbers here. Not a single Newcastle batter struck out today.
That's correct.
That is incredible, correct, right there. Getting the bat on the ball, even if you're not getting hits from the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's big right there because there are no easy outs at least. Putting the ball in play, anything can happen. Your final line score, Moon, 8 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors, 7 left on. Newcastle, 9 runs on 14 hits. They had 6 errors, but weathered again the storm, left 7 on base as well. And it all comes down to Wednesday now, down in Industry. A 13-0 defeat the first time these 2 teams played. I have a feeling it's going to be a heck of a lot closer. And how crazy is it? Moon's only 2 wins on the year were against Western Beaver. Newcastle lost by 13 to Western Beaver. Newcastle beats Moon twice. It's just crazy how the bottom of this section has kind of played out over the course of this year. Newcastle can earn themselves their first playoff bid in 5 years with a win on Wednesday.
And again, you can't win 2 in a row unless you win the first one.
Yep.
They battled. They showed a little bit of grit. They treated this game like a playoff game. Hood was good enough in the circle today, but the offensive output was what they needed. They knew they probably were going to be able to manufacture some runs against Warner Garris or whoever was going to be in the circle for Moon today. They did just that. They came back from a deficit twice. I mean, you treat this game any other way, I don't know how you can, because that was a playoff-type game, a playoff-type win-or-go-home situation, and they were able to figure it out and survive, and you got to hope that gives them the confidence they need.
And Tasha just said it right there. The rest is still unwritten. We'll see what will happen on Wednesday. We know what's happening tomorrow, though. We will be covering the WPIAL track semifinals, the boys and girls semifinals going on for Class 2A up at Shenango High School. So we'll have a lot of fun getting you a lot of sights and sounds of the track meet there. And then weather doesn't look great tomorrow, baseball and softball-wise. So very likely we will end up with one of the makeup games later on in the week. So clear that calendar, Eric Thomas. We're getting into playoff baseball and softball action. We're gonna be all over the place. That's the best way to do it. We're gonna love doing it.
Nothing better than this time of year. It really is it doesn't rank as high as, say, football or basketball, but it's right up there. I mean, the baseball in this state is second to none, and softball in this state is as good as it gets as well, too, and we saw a pretty good one here this afternoon.
Yeah, we've had a Lawrence County softball champion, I believe, now for 7 straight seasons in WPIL, so seeing if we can maybe continue that streak and beyond. Thanks to everybody here. Athletic Director, Mr. Rob Nattell, or Assistant Athletic Director, I should say, Rob Nattell. Big help to him. Obviously, Coach Ladak, Coach Mangieri, the entire staff here. Hoodie over there, Big Hood. Big appreciative for everything he's helped us out with today, and just everybody here is so hospitable to us. Big thanks to them, and big thanks to everybody watching live or archived here on the Lawrence County SportsNet. Our producer, Matt Flannery, for my broadcast colleague, Eric Thomas, I'm James Dotson saying so long. 9-8 in walk-off fashion, Newcastle defeats Moon. Stay tuned, more great action coming your way on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. Enjoy your evening, everyone, and enjoy the weather while we have it.
Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet.